Brother, close the door, turn off the noise, sit with this like it's the last truth you'll ever need. Most men will never understand it. The man who loses himself, completely, painfully, without a safety net, is the only man who ever truly finds himself. Not the safe player, not the reputation protector, not the man who never falls, the man who burns. This is the Sigma paradox. The one nobody talks about because those who lived it rarely have clean words left, and those who haven't lived it refuse to believe it's real. Most men build their identity like a fortress. They stack beliefs, habits, reputations, roles, husband, provider, winner, tough guy, brick by brick. They defend that wall with their last breath because they believe the fortress is them. Cold truth. The fortress is the prison. Marcus Aurelius knew it centuries ago. You have power over your mind, not outside events. But the real depth is this. The man who clings hardest to who he thinks he is becomes the most enslaved soul walking this earth. The Sigma doesn't study this as theory. He lives it in blood and fire. I learned it the hard way. I built my own prison once. Layers of armor from a chaotic childhood. Father's rage like endless thunder, shrinking myself to survive, becoming the ghost in the room, the watcher who saw everything and said nothing. Later came addiction, the slow poison that felt like control until it owned me. Betrayal, prison walls. I hurt people who didn't deserve it. I burned bridges and called it freedom. Numbness felt like strength until the mirror showed me the monster wearing my face. The ordinary man spends his life curating a version for the world. He performs, he protects the image. When life smashes that image, failure, humiliation, the mask cracking, he panics. He fights to glue the story back together. The Sigma doesn't. When you become willing to lose everything you think you are, every role, every label, every shield, something raw and terrifying is born. What remains isn't performance. It isn't conditioning. It isn't other people's expectations carved into your bones. It's just you, stripped, bare, dangerous in the purest way. I've seen both sides, men with everything by the world's measure, career, status, certainty, yet hollow inside. They filled the void with noise, substances, control, endless distraction. Then I've seen men who lost it all, hit bottom so hard the echo followed them for years, stared in the mirror and didn't recognize the stranger looking back. The second man had a chance the first never did. When everything external is stripped, you're forced, not invited, forced, to confront what's actually inside. That's shadow work, not the soft Instagram version, the brutal, honest kind the Stoics understood. You stop asking, what do they think of me? You start asking, who am I when no one is watching? That single shift is the birth of everything real. Here's where most men turn away. What I'm about to say cuts against every masculine script society hammered into you. The willingness to lose yourself, to admit you were wrong, to say, I don't know who I am anymore, to sit in the fire without running, that is not weakness. That is the highest form of strength a man can show. It takes zero courage to perform confidence, zero to project an image, zero to maintain the mask. But to strip it all off, to stand naked before the mirror with no excuses, no stories, no one left to blame, that requires a man who is genuinely free. Genuine freedom is magnetic. It doesn't chase, it pulls like gravity. Most men never reach it. The ego is too clever. It wears fear like strength. I don't need to change. I've been through enough. I know exactly who I am. Those aren't declarations of power. They're the walls of a self-built prison. The need to preserve the old you will cost you the man you could become. Worst trade a man can make. I made that trade for years. Confused numbness with unbreakable. Walked through hell, literal concrete and steel, violence, violation, and still clung to the old story. Rock bottom wasn't dramatic thunder. It was quiet, just me and the truth. Every face I disappointed, every excuse stripped, no one left to blame. That confrontation didn't break me, it forged me. So what does this look like in real life? 3 moves you can start today. No fluff, no theory. 1. Stop running from the hard reflection. When the urge hits to defend, justify, explain, pause. Breathe. Ask, what truth am I avoiding right now? Sit with it. Don't fix it immediately. Just see it. That discomfort is the forge heating up. 2. Identify your masks, the subtle ones, the difference in how you speak around family versus friends, the voice you use when chasing approval versus when you're truly alone. That gap is your work. Close it. 3. Do one thing every week your conditioned self would reject. Call the person you hurt. Admit out loud you were wrong. Sit in silence for an hour with no phone, no escape. Each act removes another brick from the prison wall. Here's the secret weapon nobody tells you. The deeper you go, the more you let the false self die, the less you need. Less validation, less approval, less noise, and paradoxically, the more you attract. Real humans can sense authenticity beneath the games. They feel the presence of a man who faced his darkness, leashed the monster, and kept walking. That quiet authority isn't built, it's revealed. Through the fire, through the loss, through the willingness to let the old you burn so the real man can rise. I've lived it. Narcissists tested me, parasites drawn to empathy. I became gray rock, mirror, boundary of fire, gave them nothing. They imploded. My solitude isn't loneliness, it's strategic superiority. High standards eliminated 99% of the noise, but what remains is pure. Energy protected. Peace earned. Your childhood scars, your failures, your shadows, they don't disqualify you. They qualify you. The man forged in shadow sees what others miss. The watcher becomes the force. The one who disappeared to survive now stands unshakable. Brother, the world won't give you permission to become who you are. It offers comfort, distraction, 1,000 ways to stay small while pretending you're moving. The Sigma refuses that offer, not with loud speeches, not with performance. He simply turns away from the noise, from approval addiction, from the safe version of himself, and walks into the unknown, into himself. What he finds there is what every man who makes that walk discovers. The self you were so afraid to lose was never the real one. The real one was waiting all along. This is your call, not tomorrow, now. Stop performing, start burning, face the shadow, remove the masks, protect your energy like the sacred fire it is. Choose your own company over poison. Enforce boundaries with cold finality. Build in silence until your results speak louder than any validation ever could. If this truth is burning in your chest right now, act on it. Comment, I build in silence, and tell me one mask you're dropping or one hard truth you're facing this week. Your words might pull another brother out of his own prison. Hit like if it hit bone. Subscribe if you're done with conditioning. The forge is open. The fire is waiting. Don't just survive it, become the blade. Rise. Not for me, not for them, for the man you were meant to be before the world tried to chain you. Stay strong, stay Sigma, never sorry.